Hello guys, in today's class with Lovemo Sinkonde, and in this class we'll be talking about animations using JavaScript and CSS and even the frameworks like jQuery and stuff. And in my class I'm using Sublime Text. You can use any text editor that you like. You can be using maybe using I don't know Notepad++, you're using Atom, Dreamweaver and stuff, all that editors that you can use, but I'm using Sublime. This is my Sublime text that I'm using, and this is my HTML document. And as you can see here, I've linked it outside to the external style sheet, which is text.css style sheet, and I've also linked it to an external JavaScript, which is the jQuery, this one, min.js, and all this stuff is the stuff that you can see outside there, which are static on that page. All this stuff is out of these codes that I've written down here. Okay, now we want to animate those stuff. Let's take this is not for somebody who don't know anything about coding, they using HTML or maybe CS and stuff. You need to learn this first to understand this. Otherwise, you're not gonna learn anything. Okay, for now, I'm gonna go here. Let's. I've got this page here. This is my website, and I've just developed this one from scratch. I want to animate these images and maybe play around with other animations using CSS. Okay, I'll go to my sheet using this one and I'll go to style.css and I'll look for the stuff that I want to animate. In my case, I want to animate the images. And what are the stuff? Let's take what are classes, what are IDs and stuff. You have to know all that stuff to at least pick something. Now, I'll look for the ID for these two images. As you can see, I'll look for let me look for the ID for this first, for this image, which is having this mark. Okay, I'll go here, and then from there, I think I know this is the one, this class here. If you see any period, you know that that is a class. If you see like maybe hash, then you know that that is what. Let me show a hash. If you saw this hash, then you know that one is an ID. You have to know that first for you to understand all this kind of all this stuff are the styles that I've created for what. As you can see, there's some comments up there, but the stuff that I've created for that page that is looking that fancy stuff. Okay, now I want to create that to animate that image. What I'll do is I'll come to this one, which is the class that is targeting the image. I'll say animation name. I'll give the name to the image. Animation name is, I'll simply say love. Then I say animation duration, how long will it take? I'll say maybe 30 seconds. Then I'll say animation iteration count, animation iteration count. There's a lot that you can configure. I'll just say infinite so that you can just learn over and over again. Okay, for now I'll leave that. You can put a lot of stuff, animation mode and stuff for you, but for now I'll leave it like that. From there, I have to create at keyframes. These are the codes that you need to run when you want to animate. Like maybe you need to move a stuff around, you need to rotate it, maybe you need to scale it, all that kind of stuff. Those are the codes that you are going to do it. Okay, now I'll simply say add keyframes. Then call the name, which is I did create here, which is love. Then from there, I'll say from. Where will it start from? I'll say transform. It has to transform. Now, after transforming, what do you want to do? The transformation is something that changes, but what type of change do you want to do? Do you want to scale it? Do you want to rotate it? Do you want to skew it? A lot of stuff that you can do. Let me rotate the images first. What direction? 3D. Do you want to rotate the X way? Do you want to rotate it Y, Z? Any type of rotation that you want. I'll say, let me try to rotate using X. And from there, you put in the degrees that you want to rotate. Okay, I'll say, let it rotate 360 degrees. Maybe it can rotate many degrees as you want, 20 degrees. Let me put it 360 degrees, the maximum degrees. As you can see, there it is. Then I'll say, to where will it rotate? It has to rotate to, let me do this, rotate to, then I'll say transform as well, then rotate as well, rotate X as well. Then the degrees, amount of degrees, I'll say 360 degrees as well. Just put any degree that you want. You can put 70 degrees, doesn't matter. So depends what you want. 70 degrees. Okay. Now, which means this ID 4 is the one that is going to be calling these animations because it's got that name here, as you can see. Okay. Now let's try to save this and preview it in our web browser. We'll go to our web browser. Try to refresh. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? It is rotating. It is rotating. Now I did do the same thing for this other image. I didn't want to take your time. I'll go to another image which has a class of woo. This one. I did do the same stuff. Now, because I've commented up the calling, how to call it, I've commented it. Let me try to take it out, the comments. As you can see, let's take what comments are. It's just to disable something, some codes, which means these codes are not active. I'll disable this and take out this as well. And then try to save this. Go in my web browser, try to preview it. See what is going on. Okay, I think it's there. You go. You see, it is learning. You see. Okay, now I want to make some changes to this paragraph here. Been in the industry for 5 years. This is just a website created from scratch using some programming language like HTML and stuff. Simple languages, and I've created it just to do it for some tutorial that I'm using for tough languages, like JavaScript. I'm gonna be using this same language, this same website. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll have to make something with this one here. What I'll have to do is I want, when I hover over this, maybe it should change color, maybe the text should be changing or something like that. Okay, let me go and identify the identifiers for this one, the ID for that paragraph. I go here. If I see over here, I see there is this paragraph here. I think this is the one, this one here. What I'll do is having a class of PG. Okay, I'll simply go to my style.css and go anywhere. I can even come here. I'll say dot PG on hover. When you hover over PG, what should happen to it? What should happen when I hover on PG? Okay, I want the background to change. I can put any color that you want, and let me show you also the I've got this stuff here. I've got GIMP. GIMP is a better way to that you can use also to maybe check out for some colors, play around with some colors. There's other tools also that you can use, the Photoshop, a lot of stuff outside there that you can find it. Maybe you can go to W3 schools to find out about the color scheme. They have all the tools that you can use to find the colors that you want. Okay, there it is coming. This is my GIMP. I'll come here and I'll simply come here. I want to choose a color that I want to change for that background to change. Let's take, when I hover over, I want to see this color. Okay, I'll simply copy this color. cut. You have to copy it, but I'll just cut it. Then come to my editor, come here, paste it. But what you need to do here is put a hash in front for it to work, otherwise it will not work. Then save, then go to a browser, refresh, hover over it. Can you see? It's changing. You go out, it changes again. You go in, it's changing. You go out, it changes again. You can look for many elements as you want. You can come maybe to, let me look for my URLs. What is I want to find out what is keeping the URLs. The URL, I think the background. Let me try to change the background for URL to white. When I hover over the list items, let me show you, are these stuff here. Home, as you can see, it's changing already there. If you refresh, it's changing to white. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? And if you see, these ones are remitting because of simple CSS. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. And you can also say, let's take, if you come here, you want to this one to scale or to go skew or to change the scale or to change the color of the text. You can do any kind of stuff. If you hover here, you want to change the color of the text. Let me change this text so that you can see. I want that color. Okay, I'll come here and go to PG, which is that one, and change the text color. You can just say, or you can say just say color. So sorry, tab color is equal to black, or let me change it to red. Red. Save. Come here, refresh. Okay, didn't change. Okay, should it be something like that? Text in. Let me. It should be text. Text declaration color. Just a minute. Try to save that. Okay, it's changing. As you can see, it has changed its color. That's as simple that. That is as simple that. That's how you